I'm John Clayton, another segment of our bass tips, and I thought we'd talk a little bit about barring across the strings today. Barring across the strings is a technique that you maybe are already using, but again, I like to analyze techniques and analyze things that I'm doing to really understand the benefits that I can get from whatever it is I'm doing. There will be instances where it makes sense, because basically, we've talked a lot about making sure that your fingers are distanced from each other so that you can really effectively and efficiently access the notes that you need to access. We talked about all that, but there are going to be instances where you really are going to need to let your fingers do oddball things in order to get the music that you're looking for. This isn't especially oddball, but if I want this kind of a sound, then that means that I've got to bar my fingers across. By having my thumb, rather than having it point straight up or crazy like that, then by having my thumb basically like this, it allows for my fingers to be shaped like this. And the instrument, if we had frets on our instrument, we could see what our fingers need to do. We don't have frets. Since our hands are curved, our fingers are curved, we have to make adjustments in order to as close as possible, get to that concept of having frets that go across the instrument horizontally. So I will alter my left hand, my fingers, if I ever want to bar across strings. For instance, if I want to play a B flat and an F on the G and D string, and I want them to sort of flow into each other, I may not go like this, because now I've created a little bit of a gap as I lift my fingers to move to the next string. Instead, I'll bar across and go, if I'm looking for that kind of a sound. Let's say I want a B flat and an E natural. Same thing, I'm kind of keeping my fingers on the string, and here I bar across. I may bar across if I want an A and an E. I may bar across if I want an A flat and an E flat. So again, it might be B flat and F, it might be A and E, it might be A flat, E flat, or a combination of all those things. Whatever, you come up with it, but analyze what's going on. Run with this idea of having your fingers barred across and being flexible enough, understanding enough by practicing in front of a mirror to see what your fingers need to do in order for you to play those notes better in tune. So I'm going to look in the mirror and I'm going to experiment. Is that a little bit better? Is that? And just find out what feels and sounds the best. Again, we don't do anything to the point of pain. If it hurts, stop. Relax, stretch if you need to, shake out, whatever. We talked about this. No pain, no pain. All right? So again, that's the concept of barring across, and you can do that all over the instrument. Of course, when you get into thumb position in this register of the instrument, then barring across is going to be a little bit more challenging because you don't have your thumb underneath the fingerboard anymore. Now you have it on top of the fingerboard. So we find other ways of getting that sound. For instance, if I'm going to play, I'm going to bar across that way. But it still requires understanding where my fingers need to be placed. And that's where the mirror comes in. So, barring across, and sometimes I'll do things like a scale. You come up with some interesting things to do that are fun for you, and experiment with the whole barring across concept. Have fun.